All right, guys, we're back with another weekly Q&A. For those that don't know, I'm Brad with Reliant Fitness. I run a weekly Q&A on my Instagram, and then I come here to YouTube to answer it all for you guys. So hopefully you enjoy this, learn something, maybe get to know me a little bit better. For those that are interested with working with me or joining my community, hit the link in the description and get the info that you need to join Team Reliant. Let's work. I'm going to try to rip through this as fast as possible, but we shall see how fast we can do this. How do you prioritize dad duties, husband duties, and work, personal interests, and growth? Focused efforts, bro. Understanding the difference between being productive and being busy. So you can't take on the world every single day, but you can lay out 3 to 5 critical tasks that serve your goal, serve yourself, and serve your family. And that's all it takes. Win each day, and you'll be where you want to be in due time. Approximate program cost. So I have varying levels of programs, but I have basically my Momentum program, which is a mid-level program. You get proven training methods, meal plans, macros, and community access for about what you probably pay for lunch per day. And then I have my Elite programs, which are obviously tailored to the individual. You get one-on-one calls. Everything's kind of built to you, your goals, and we have a periodic check-in via Zoom as well as direct contact for a little bit more. That's closer to $25 to $30 a day if you look at it as an investment standpoint per day. You keeping the same macros or changing it up for running? For those that don't know, I'm running a half marathon next month, so I have changed my macros a little bit. I'm consuming more carbs, a little bit more fats on running days. On training days, I do typically between 3 and 8 miles, so I compensate for that extra activity and that extra caloric expenditure. Is an Apple Watch Fitbit accurate on how many calories you're burning daily? I'm going to say no. I don't put much weight into that. I don't tell my clients to measure it. I use it as a metric, right? So I wear a Garmin. It tells me my approximate caloric expenditure each day, but I don't put a whole lot of weight into it. I use it as a constant. So it's like across a week, if I'm steadily burning 3,000 calories a day, then I know that everything's about the same. But if I have like highs and lows or spurts of inconsistency, I don't really put a whole lot of weight into it. Gnarliest fight you've gotten into? Whew. I have some good stories about that, but we'll just pick one. It involves the Orange County Sheriff's Department, myself and about 7 deputies trying to get to my brother who was being detained by a sheriff with being choke slammed basically on the hood of a vehicle. It took 3 tasers to stop me from getting to that deputy. I was this fucking close. More Harley videos. I know, bro. I need more time to go ride. How do you start a new life? Simple, not easy. Identify what you want. Write up a basic plan of action. Take action daily. And don't stop. What's your process for quitting smoking? Well, for me, once I removed alcohol, cigarettes was relatively easy to get rid of. But I did things like chew gum, seeds, things to kind of maintain a level of oral fixation. But realistically, once the alcohol was gone, I didn't really think about cigarettes that much. How do you balance your work hours with family and working out? Well, I sacrifice the things that I need sometimes. So I'm up early to get my training in while most of the world and my family is still sleeping. It goes back to what I said about focused efforts and not necessarily believing in balance. It's just having structure, sticking to the plan, and remaining productive instead of busy. Major difference. Who was your coach? So I've worked with a lot of different coaches, but my first paid mentor was Wes Watson. And what a fucking joke that's become. I'm currently working with 3 coaches. So my bodybuilding coach is Justin Dees out of Las Vegas, the Dragon's Lair. My media advertising coach, if you will, is Will Jerome. And I just hired a doctor, Dr. Mike White, to teach me how to read and make corrective actions in client blood work and basically really understanding health and wellness from a metabolic standpoint. Do you have any advice on keeping your cholesterol and RBC in check when on TRT? Yeah, most of it's going to be dietary, so omega-3s, healthy fats, keeping your LDL, HDL in check. red blood count. There's a few over-the-counter supplements that you could take to keep your red blood count in check. But the biggest thing is like if your hematocrit gets over, I think it's like 55, you should go do a blood dump. It's going to make you feel better. No question, but your posts keep me accountable, especially when I want to slack. Thank you, bro. Appreciate the support. Thoughts on electrolyte packets like Liquid IV and Element. I think electrolytes are one of the most underutilized supplements on the market. I start my day with electrolytes every single day, and I think everybody should. Hydration is a major factor why most people have weird body issues that they could easily solve with drinking more water or taking on things that are in electrolytes, more sodium, more potassium, magnesium. Water alone is not going to, hydrate you sufficiently. So electrolyte packets, do it. Where do I start? I want to build the community that does exist local to me, and I want to start it for my cutoff. Just start, bro. Start posting, put up flyers at the gym, at church, wherever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to do. You have to get vocal. You have to put yourself out there. It's going to be uncomfortable, but people will come. If you build it, they will come. How many years in the FD? Fire department? Roughly 4, if I'm counting my reserve time. So not very long. What do you imagine yourself doing if you're caught in a Bondi Beach situation? So that's a horrible thing. I don't wish that upon anybody, but I wouldn't put myself in a place, country, where I wasn't allowed to carry a fucking firearm, first and foremost. The only thing that's going to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. When we cruising the hot rods, fuck, dude, I know. Travis, sorry, man. Gotta just make time for it. What are the most important skills you have found that's helped start your success in business? You have to be a self-starter. You have to be disciplined. You have to be consistent. Because when you're in business for yourself, there is nobody who's giving you instruction. You have to take initiative every single day, and you have to get shit done whether you feel like it or not. That is discipline. You have to be extremely consistent. If you are not consistent in bringing yourself to perform, you will not get paid. You will not make money. Your business will suffer. Workouts to start off. Any of them. Just start. Don't overcomplicate it. You have an early morning start. What time do you go to bed to ensure good rest? I try to go to bed around 9. I'm typically up between 3:30 and 4, so that's 7 hours of sleep on a good night, which I'm usually more than fine off of. Energy drinks or coffee or pre-workout, all of them. I've been trying to limit my caffeine intake, so I'll have like my pre-workout obviously before I go train and maybe like 1 cup of coffee with breakfast after training, but I usually don't dabble with energy drinks unless I'm smoked. And today I'm fucking smoked, so I might go get some caffeine as soon as I'm done with this. Any cheat meal day per week? I usually let myself have like 1 cheat a week, maybe 2. And this is something I tell my clients too. If you operate on a high compliance with nutrition, like I tell everybody, aim for that 90-10 purpose performance. 90% purpose performance, eating 10% pleasure, you'll be fine. It won't derail any progress or results. What does it mean to be a man? I don't know. Do you handle fucking business? Do you take care of those people around you? Do you protect, provide, serve? That's what it means to me. What brand are the sunglasses? Co Eyewear. They've been sending me stuff recently, and their new frames are kick ass. CO Eyewear. Go check them out. How long did it take to build your business? Every fucking day of the last 3.5 years. Starting it was relatively easy. Building it into what it is now, a multiple 7-figure brand company, it's taken a lot. So it ain't easy, bro. But continue to invest in yourself, your skills, your knowledge, and you will grow. Ultimate goal for 2026. I need to set aside some more time for me. And obviously continue to expand the brand. I want to double what I did in 2025. I think if I calc everything out right, we've grossed Reliant alone a little over 1.1 million, maybe 1.2. I want to double that in 2026. What's a good workout split for firefighters working 4896s? That's a great question. So what I would do is I would reserve your strength training sessions for when you're off duty, right? So that way you don't have to worry about getting interrupted in your weight training sessions on calls and things like that. So a good, hour to an hour and a half strength training session. On duty, I would do something that is more CrossFit HIIT style, something that takes 20 or 30 minutes, high output, maybe one compound lift, something that pushes, lungs and is more of a full body exercise than an isolated muscle group. Have you tried sandbag lifts? Yeah, some. I have a 150-pound sandbag over here that on the side of the house that I'll throw around every once in a while. Does the weather impact how you work outside versus the gym? Like I live in the Pacific Northwest. It doesn't affect my work, but it definitely affects my mood sometimes. Testosterone thoughts. Testosterone's great. I've used it a couple times. Pairs really great with TRT. So any of the gentlemen that are on TRT protocol, testosterone or any of the GH style peptides run really well with it. How do you block out all the noise and stay focused? Just say fuck everybody and stay focused on your goals. Nobody else's input matters unless they're on the same page. Can you send me a shirt, please? Yeah, as long as you send me some fucking money. What is your favorite quality, characteristic about yourself, an aspect you're most proud of? Just relentless consistency, bro. Like I bring myself to hammer out the necessary work. I don't make excuses. I may not feel like it most days, but I always bring myself to do it. How old are you? I'm 36. This age and height seem to be a pretty consistent question. I'm 36 years old. I'm 5'11". Things you most love and hate about the coaching space. So I love to see people obviously serving and helping others. That's incredible. What I hate is people diming each other out, making reaction content and trying to trash on other coaches just because they have a different point of view or coach differently. I think that shit's weak. It says a lot as a coach when I see coaches posting content, trashing on other coaches or other influencers. Honestly, I feel like you're one of the realest in social media. Most of it is all talk for views and personal stuff. I appreciate that, bro. I'm just here to be me and bring a level of value and experience to people who need it. You ever been to a Rammstein concert? No, but we listened to it a lot when I was in German in high school. You are my point of reference. Greetings from Italy. Thank you. Hell yeah. Thank you, bro. Greetings from America. What equipment do you record with? Mostly iPhone, but I also have a DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which is what I'm filming this on, and that's a kick-ass little setup. Where's the hair? I fucking shaved it off. Sunglasses. Who makes them? Co-Eyewear. Do you still keep in touch with your old friends from your rowdy days? Yes, some of them. I love them. I just don't live that way anymore. And obviously I live in a different area, so sometimes getting together is difficult, but I still talk to most of them. Do you count calories? Yes, calories and macros every day. How many hours do you sleep? I try for 8, but with luck I get 6. About the same. I usually average about 6 or 7 a night. 8 would be nice, but it's also kind of a luxury. What would be your recommended macro split for bulking? So a macro split for bulking, I usually do 30% protein, 50% carbs, 20% fat. And that's just calorie percentages. 30% of your calories come from protein, 50% of your calories come from carbs, 20% come from fat. I just want to give you props for an extremely impressive mustache. Thank you, bro. How have you been liking Gain Station? Let's get a lift together. Gain Station's great. They have a lot of killer equipment. It's right down the road. So when I'm feeling kind of lazy and I don't want to go all the way to my gym, I go there. And yes, we can train together, Colby. I stopped training for like 2 years and now I want to get back. How will I start? Just fucking start. Don't give yourself the out. Just start. What's the number one goal for 2026? Smash. Fucking smash everything. Who makes your glasses? Co-Eyewear. What was your biggest trigger point for going full-time into coaching and leaving the fire service? I made a reel about this the other day. A gentleman who is obviously years in experience in business ahead of me made a couple key points about how much I was generating, what my potential was, and brought a perspective that I haven't thought about before. And when I sat down and really thought about that and took it to heart, it just made sense to go all in on me. And in all reality, the fire department's not going anywhere. My business could fucking crash and burn in the next 6 months, and I could probably go get my job back. How would you say you differ from the other online coaches? This is a great question. I actually work with my clients. I care about the results and the process that I provide. Most of these coaches you see online that have large platforms, they have a bunch of hired help. They don't actually deal with their clients at all. When you come to Reliant, you work with me. Whether you're on an elite program or whether you're on a mid-level program, you are working under my direct guidance and communication. Nobody else. When adding EQ to test, base 1-to-1 ratio for 4 weeks, then 2-to-1 ratio or steady. I don't know, bro. I don't know enough about compounds to give you advice on that. I don't really feel comfortable. Right now, in all transparency, I'm running test and EQ 1-to-1 ratio and I feel fine. Labs are good too. Do you condition your knees? Any routines you could recommend? Yes, I think taking care of your knees is extremely important. And if you need help doing that, check out Ben Patrick, knees over toes guy. I had an MCL tear a couple years ago, used a couple of his movements, his exercises, and I was back to full function in half the time, 6 weeks. Is it better to lift light with higher volume or lift heavy with lower volume for aesthetic? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for aesthetic. If you're going to lift heavy, make sure that you have good form, good control. Where a lot of people go wrong is they don't lift heavy enough or they lift too heavy for their skill level, if that makes sense. So if you're going to go heavy, make sure it's a movement you feel comfortable with. That's it. How do you manage your time on your phone and family spend too much time on my phone? You just got to know when to put it down, bro. But there's a difference between being on your phone and learning how to use your phone to make money. So if you're just fucking around on your phone and not making money, you're wasting your time. I make a lot of money from this motherfucker, so I'm not necessarily wasting my time. How low is low for calories to be set? I mean, most people should not try to exceed. You need to maintain a steady deficit. Extremisms lead to burnout. So, most people only need to be in about a 500 calorie deficit to see steady weight loss. So I would say keep it between 300 and 700 calories. Anything more than that of a deficit is too much and you're going to crash and burn. How you ever feel like you can't find a balance between working hard and spending time with kids? Yeah, all the time, dude. I'm consumed by my work, but it's my job. It's my work. I need to be generating an income. I need to be taking care of my clients. And by doing that, I'm taking care of my family. How old are you? 36. Advice when your mindset tells you you're not good enough or not doing enough. Well, are you living up to your potential? Are you doing all the things that you know you should be doing? Because usually that's only the case when you're not maintaining consistency to a given plan. Like that doubt creeps in when you let yourself negotiate with yourself. So are you executing or are you making excuses? Let's see here. Is that all of them? There's no way. There's no way that's all of them. Is that all of them? We might have blown through that real quick. Status. Well, shit, dang, kids. Maybe there's one. No questions, but thank you for motivating me. Respect King. Hey, bro. Motivation's a lie, but I'm glad I can motivate you. It's more about discipline, bro. So build the discipline to act regardless of what I share or what I post, but I appreciate the support. Just like I appreciate all you. So thank you once again for tuning into this Q&A. I hope you enjoy it. I'll be doing it once a week. And once again, if you want to work with me in any way, shape, or form, hit the link in the description, get some information, check out some Reliant testimonials, and give me a shout out on Instagram, will you? Have a great weekend.